Good evening, everybody. Sorry, I'm Dan. I'm the Students' Union President. And before I say some words on behalf of the Students' Union, I'd like to share with you some student voices. On the undergraduate education courses, we have modules on sustainability education and action for hope, social justice and the pedagogy of freedom, sustainability and the global village, and international education in a post-colonial world. We spoke to some students from these modules about sustainability, education, and hope for the future. Here are some of their thoughts.
Hi, my name's Lucas Worton.
I'm Laurie.
My name is Owen Britnell.
My name is Eva.
I'm Max.
Ruth Shepherdson.
My name is Ida.
My name's Evelyn.
My name is Anissa Chowdhury.
Hi, I'm Mary and I do Education Studies.
The subject of sustainability is incredibly distressing, yet one that is becoming increasingly prominent in our society every day. We all need to be more aware of it.
I didn't know the importance of sustainability when I was growing up. However, through Education Studies modules, it's clear that schooling is not prioritising such important matters. I've definitely become more aware of the lack of political will in controlling discourses that prevent change in our society. I still don't fully believe that my power as an individual to make change is significant enough, but I've decided to make changes that are small and be more aware.
It goes without saying that climate change is one of the most important issues facing us today. The environment as we know it is changing. Society needs to shift their focus on sustainability now more than ever before. And where do we start? We start by educating the next generation.
Learning about sustainability is needed within education. While it is a daunting, sad and worrying subject, it is needed to foster change throughout the university and society as a whole. This is because it's not spoken enough about, even in this university. Every course should strive to educate sustainably in the context of their sectors.
Using films as well as lectures to lead discussions on climate change, planetary boundaries and tipping points has been an interesting and eye-opening experience. Just this morning, a newspaper article mentioned the ocean's tipping point, and I knew what they meant.
Climate change and sustainability are huge topics that are talked about the least. These are issues that have become an emergency and need to be reinforced in every aspect of life, especially in education.
I think it is great that people are starting to learn more about sustainability and how it affects everyday life, but I feel like it should have been brought into the education system a long time ago. I mean, how many more COP meetings are we going to need before a resolve is discovered? It's scary to think how much we know, but how little we are doing as a global community to change it.
This module has helped me realise the scale of these issues. I was already aware that the way we live is not sustainable. By watching the movies, I saw how big landfills are, how huge the mining equipment is, and how many resources we use. I believe that seeing the problem and realising the scale of it is the first step towards a solution.
When I first started these modules, I knew that this was a significant problem facing the world today. However, now these modules have made me realise just how hopeless it is if we don't act now.
As an international student, I have found it so important to get involved with the university community and Students' Union in multiple ways, which has allowed me to grow on a holistic level and create a home away from home. Each experience on its own and as a collective have allowed me to develop my learning, awareness, and advocacy in the fields of social justice, education, inclusion, and sustainability. Through my involvement with the Us in the World program, I have really recognized that we all have a significant role to play in our world, but that we are surrounded by barriers. This has led me to creating a project whereby the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are being developed in a way that is more inclusive and accessible to more people through using alternative and augmentative communication. For change to happen in our world, don't we all need to understand our role in our world and how we can all make a difference?
Learning about sustainability while being extremely important is also extremely depressing. I had an idea of the state of the planet before this module, but the module has really opened my eyes to the issues. The film Seaspiracy was particularly shocking to me, and I definitely recommend that you watch it.
As a committee member of the Students for Activism Society here at Canterbury Christchurch, I feel the need to spread the message about sustainability and sustainable learning. Sustainability is no longer just reuse, reduce and recycle, it's about inequalities that cause social and climate issues. It's not about what just you as an individual can do anymore, it's about making the men with the briefcases bring permanent change that's desperately needed.
Within the Students for Activism Society, I have gained a multitude of skills whereby I'm continuously growing and aiming to develop a stronger sense of identity, both as an individual pursuing activism change on a smaller scale or within my collective charity identity. I have learned that I'm capable of making a change and using my voice to make a difference.
So I was asked tonight to speak this evening to say something about climate change and partnership. I could start by telling you that our Students' Union has been awarded Excellent in the National Union of Students Green Impact Award 3 years in a row. I could tell you that we were awarded Best Non-Commercial Union in the country for our work in this area. I could tell you that we run our own food composter right here on campus. And I could tell you that in partnership with the university, we've been accredited in the National Union of Students Responsible Futures Initiative. I could also tell you that for 3 years in a row, we were in the top 3 universities in the country whose staff committed to teaching about the climate crisis and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. I could tell you all of that, but in fact, none of it matters. No awards or achievements matter until we understand the fundamental flaw in our approach to climate change. Because the truth is, we're not destroying the planet. Planet Earth will be perfectly fine once humanity is extinct. In fact, the Earth will flourish without us. Ecosystems will stabilise, global temperatures, sea levels will return to a habitable equilibrium, and life on Earth will thrive and grow. So the truth is, the climate crisis is not that we're killing the planet, but we're killing human beings. It is those in the world who are least responsible for climate change who will be the first victims of it. Those who live off the land and have very little carbon impact will in fact be the first to suffer. Responding to the climate emergency is not just about reducing, reusing, recycling. It's also about the understanding that we're a global community. And it's our responsibility to protect those who are most at risk and most vulnerable. Until those of us privileged enough with access to education, a roof over our heads, and the ability to turn on the heating whenever we like, realise our moral and social responsibility to protect those less fortunate, will truly be missing the real crisis. We as a student movement hope that the Academy for Sustainable Futures will use its powers as educators to ensure that Christchurch graduates leave this campus armed with the knowledge, power and confidence to tackle the climate crisis head on, not just to save the planet, but to save humanity. And before I go, I should just tell you that as a result of our student elections last week, we've pledged to plant 1,000 trees, 1 tree for every student who voted. Thank you very much.